To be in partnership with many of them. I think obviously we know that the Asian communities in Denver are as diverse as the rest of the communities in Denver. We have folks that are, there's a heavy population of Vietnamese immigrants. We know we have a Hmong population that is significant. We know there's still a Chinese immigrant population, all of which have different needs, different traditions, and different challenges, I think, in the city right now. And so I think that is a very diverse population of the city, and my job as mayor is to be connected to each of those communities and to be able to make sure we're present. I do find, I was a small business owner my whole life, and so I do know a lot of the community are entrepreneurs in various and are trying to open and maintain small businesses, and they have the same challenges many of us do with a city department that is not always responsive or convenient or quick to make it easy to open and grow small businesses. So I've come out as a small business owner to say one of the things we want to do is both put more money into supporting entrepreneurs, particularly entrepreneurs of color. We're trying to build up businesses, make it easier to fill out those forms, easier to get dollars more quickly, because we want to sometimes have the city get out of the way of our entrepreneurs and make sure they have the support. I think it's been a very important issue for me is education and how we make sure and support high educational standards and high educational quality in Denver. And so we may want to talk about that also, but I know that's one that's really important to me and I've found to be important to a lot of the Asian community members I've talked to. I think there are a couple things. One is I will, of course, have a diverse cabinet that represents all parts of the community, and you'll expect to have leaders from the Asian American community who are represented in my cabinet and in my top leadership. We want to be able to be in community with them, listening and understanding, to be present at all of the important commercial and ethnic events, whether it's everything from Lunar New Year, which I was at this year, to others. But more importantly, how do we make sure that we're really responsive when there are needs and when there are issues? And I think that happens by having an open door. I have some significant and important leaders in the Asian American community who are already on my kitchen cabinet, who are already early and close advisors, like Chris Lee, who's been a very active advocate, supporter, friend. I think, you have to have people from the community at your kitchen cabinet informing you every day on things that are important to the community. That's what I've done on this campaign, and that's what I would do as mayor, is make sure there are people in my close inner circle who are advocates and representatives of that community all the time to keep me connected to the issues that are most important. Yeah, and this is one of the great catastrophes of the Trump administration, was demonizing people of all backgrounds about and of course the pandemic was one way he used to try to do that. I think for me, I want to make sure Denver is the most inclusive city in America, and I think leadership matters. The ability to speak out and publicly support those communities that we know have been facing hate crimes, have been facing attacks, have been facing discrimination. I think that's part of what the mayor's job is to do, is both build an inclusive community of leaders who are represented in our cabinet, who maintain those direct relationships, and that we openly welcome and celebrate those immigrant populations that we want to come to Denver, and that we are grateful for their contributions. I mean, as we know, the Asian community is building incredible commercial opportunities all across the city. They're have been very successful as entrepreneurs across the city, and that's a great value add for our city. We want to encourage more and more immigrants to want to make Denver home and to want to build things in the city that they're going to be proud of. So I think this is one where my job as mayor is to make sure this is an inclusive, welcoming city for all, and that we're not going to tolerate either discrimination or prejudice or hate crimes in our city. Trump put us in the wrong direction on that. As the mayor of the city, you can really change the narrative about how our city feels, which is a city of immigrants. That's what we want it to be. 100%. 100%. But that should be the bare minimum expectation. Once a year for Lunar New Year is not enough.
It is really difficult.
I know.
I have tried it for the past 10 years.
No, that will be easy for us to do. I was there as a candidate. I will be there as the mayor. But more, I'll be there throughout the year to be able to step in and say, how are things going? What are the challenges you're facing? What issues are you seeing around people returning to work in person, or around crime, or around homelessness, or around affordability? What are the biggest challenges your businesses are facing in terms of getting permits or getting access to be able to grow? What can we do to make it an easier city to live in and do business in? I think that's my commitment on every day of the year, not just on Lunar New Year.